Hey everybody, it's David and Sam. We're back here for Stereoland in Bloomington, Minnesota with some new speakers to talk about here today. We're going to go through, Sam's going to talk a little bit about these in more detail, what some of the new upgrades are and that sort of thing. We're going to actually then take a listen ourselves and then be able to give you a review afterwards as well. A couple things to mention here before Sam gives us details is that this is really upgrades on the previous LS50 line that KEF has had. And so what we have here today is the new LS50 Meta KEF speakers, which you see here on the outside here in blue, and then the LS50 Wireless II speakers. And these are also have been upgraded as well. So there's a lot more upgrades in these. And this has been a speaker that's been rather well known, I think, for a long time and been very on people's radar that they really seem to gravitate towards. Definitely brings people in. So, Sam, did you want to give us a little lowdown on some of the new details of the speakers?
Sure. So, thank you, David. Right, everybody knows about the LS50, original LS50 series. I mean, you really couldn't be into hi-fi, couldn't be watching this video and not know about the just ubiquitous LS50. It's a great speaker, super well reviewed. Well, now they've come out with the Meta and the Wireless II that essentially replace the old LS50 line, and they add in, on the Meta, they really add in two new technologies. They add in their Meta material, which is reducing a lot of the sound coming out of the back of the tweeter, which just controls that sound more, gives it more extension, reduces distortion. It's overall improved sound. And then the other thing is their 12th generation UniQ driver, which again, it's got better back damping, it's got a better design that helps to tune it, I think, in a way that really improves it over the original. The Wireless 2, that's got a whole host of different new features. It's got, you no longer have to have a cord running between. It's got all sorts of new supported streaming services from AirPlay 2 to Qobuz, Tidal, Rune. It's got Chromecast. It's got all these sorts of different things coupled with a new app, which really vastly improved on the old app. If you ever read a review of the original LS50 Wireless, the one knock against those speakers was the app. It wasn't the best. It was, it wasn't the worst. You could still absolutely use the speakers, but on these, I think they're really taking a hit at Sonos and at Bluos, who have really good apps but don't have the sound quality. Well, now KEF's got the sound quality and the app. So I think that those are some of the bigger improvements to the speaker that you really see. But it's also got almost double the wattage, 65% more wattage on that amp within the speaker that's driving the tweeter in the mid-range. And that just gives you more control, gives you better sound, gets louder. I mean, it's just overall improved. So I think that you guys are going to enjoy how it sounds, and I think we're going to enjoy how it sounds. So I think we'll get down to listening to them.
All right. Thank you, Sam. Hey, everybody. We are back after listening to these two speakers, the KEF LS50 Meta and the LS50 Wireless II. Put them through their paces, had a chance to listen to a lot of different music, different styles, vocals, instrumental stuff, and I have to say that I was really impressed with this. For this small speaker, you're going to get a lot out of it, and whether you're doing the wireless version or the wired, really depends on your setup. There certainly are conveniences to a wireless speaker that sometimes for certain situations just works better, and otherwise the wired version certainly works well too, but it kind of depends on your situation. But the nice thing with both of these, all the upgrades that we referenced earlier, they are included in both of the models. So I found this to be a really non-fatiguing sound. So it could be listening to it for a really long time without getting sort of that high end being sort of annoying, if you will, and yet the detail was there. So it was not at the expense of losing any detail, and I found that, I think, to be really special with these speakers, along with the amount of the low-end bass energy that I was hearing. I thought those were two things, Sam, that really stand out in these models. So I'm going to hand this over to you to kind of go through what your thoughts have been.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, David. So I also really liked these speakers. I think they are a big improvement over the original line, which already were fantastic. Some of the things I really liked, for one, was that, like David said, the detail is really, really good. We were listening to some female vocals, and you could hear everything from the actual breaths that she was taking in as she was singing, to her tongue hitting the top of her mouth as she pronounced certain notes. Every single little detail was super present. I mean, they just retrieved so much without hurting your ears. And then to top that off, it was that clarity, the fact that they are a very neutral speaker with a good, nice, solid forward mid-range that really gives you a lot of the clarity that you might be missing with something with a little bit more V-shape or bass-tuned tonality. And they did that all with a very strong center stage presence. The vocals sounded intimate sounding, but then we turned on some Rush and you get just a nice expansive wall of sound. It's good staging, good imaging with strong center image and a strong sound stage. So, I mean, they're just all around fantastic. It's really hard to go wrong with these. And I mean, I think in a home, in a living room, they'd work great. On a desk, they'd work great. I mean, they're just fantastic for everything. So, yeah.
Thank you, Sam. Yeah, definitely. One thing I wanted to wrap this up with is we do like sharing our ideas on these, but if you think this is something that you might be interested in, we want you to come down to the store and have a chance to really take a listen for yourself and see if that might be a right fit for you, if one of these models might be good for your situation and maybe work well or pair well with the electronics that you have. So, of course, Bill, Andy, and Sam are all here to help you out with that, so come on down and take a listen. I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised, and you will enjoy these very much. So on behalf of Sam here, I'm David, and this is Stereoland in Bloomington, Minnesota with another video. We thank you for watching as always, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thanks. Thanks again for watching. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you love this video, please subscribe to our channel.